you watching on YouTube? Who are your favourites, and do you just watch the big channels? I challenge you. During this video, I'm going to list a huge number of woodworking or makers channels, and I bet that there is nobody watching this that is subscribed to each and every one of them. You see, YouTube has its own rules and regulations. It has an algorithm that tells people what they want to watch, and it finds videos suitable depending on what they've watched in the past and what it thinks they're going to watch in the future. You can train that algorithm. If you explore down into the smaller channels like my own, I am convinced you will find a really interesting and fulfilling set of maybe 50 channels that you didn't even know existed before videos like this. Now, I can't show you 50. I can show you my 5 that I think that you may be missing out on. If you're already watching them, let me know. And if I miss any in this video, the comment section is a great place to put it, because if this video helps any other channels gain viewers and subscribers, happy days. But before we dive in, what started this snowball rolling? Let me tell you. I was very, very fortunate, and I had no idea it was happening, but Lee over at Busted Knuckle Woodworks decided that he was going to do 10 videos that you haven't seen before, and, well, he said 10, he did 5, and actually his buddy Jared over at Inland Wood and Resin did the other 5, which is still amazing to put themselves out there to show YouTube that they're not just going to be making things and tool recommendations, they're actually going to try and help other channels that might need a little bit of exposure. I think is phenomenal. The first video that I saw was from Busted Knuckle Woodworks, and the 5 channels that he recommended in that were Dinkle's Workshop, yours truly, Worst Workshop, Cabinet Carl, and Geometry Build. All of the links to those 5, plus Jared's 5, which were Chainsaw Jenner, Wooden Soul, Artisan Pirate, Dyewood Carving, and HS Wood and Resin Art. If you don't know who these guys are, Lee over at Busted Knuckle Woodworks, he does some really straight-laced, some no messing around, really factual. Lee's the goofball, and Jared's a little bit more of the thinker. I don't know. Either way, fantastic channels, worth checking out. If you want to learn more about them, they've also got a podcast, which is very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. So, here's my 5. Please remember during this, I am not casting shade on any of the bigger channels, because my journey into woodworking started with those exact channels. And they've worked really hard to get to exactly where they are and deserve the exposure they're getting. What I'm saying is, test out a few of these smaller ones. Some of which may not be as small as they were when I first decided to do this video, because they do phenomenal work and they're growing, and I'm really happy about that. It doesn't matter whether you watch channels from the UK or channels from across the pond in the US, they're all brilliant. The ones I'm not going to talk about in this video, and get your pen out if you're going to start the count. I'm not talking about John over at Lincoln Street Woodworks, I'm not talking about Scott Walsh, I'm not talking about Blacktail Studios, I'm not talking about Rag and Bone Brown, Keith Brown, I'm not talking about Badger's Workshop, I'm not talking about the man with the greatest hair, Matt Estley, I'm not talking about Tamara over at 3x3 Woodworks, I'm not talking about Rob Cosman, I'm not talking about Paul Sellers, and I am not talking about Woodworking for Mere Mortals. They're all amazing channels, they've helped me get to where I am, but I love to see someone in their workshop showing you how hard it can be on certain days and how rewarding it is on others. And that's where my first recommendation comes in. The gentleman is called Dean. He turns up and he films every stage of his journey. And that's the name of his channel, Woodwork Journey. He will show you from the new tools he's experimenting with, what he's learning with them, changes he's making to his workshop. He will show you every part of it. But what I like about it is that he will show you it with positivity and a smile. Through all of his videos, he is pushing out some seriously good positive messages about positive mental health. Anybody can make stuff, and the simple fact that it is all about the journey. And that is something that I can relate really strongly with. He's a talented woodworker, he's clearly very good at what he does, and the sheer amount of dedication to put out over 170 videos is staggering to me. But to do all of those videos and to deal with what Dean deals with personally, I couldn't even begin to understand. I have a small window into that world, and I don't want to go into too many details on his behalf or mine, but I will say I am very impressed with his drive and his positivity. So, he's my first channel. And what I'm asking you to do with these channels is not necessarily to go over there, click subscribe, and then just leave. I would rather, and I'm sure they would probably rather, that you just watched a few of their videos. And I guarantee if you watch some of Dean's, you'll be as hooked as I am. But now, not every channel needs to be perfectly educational. Some of them can be about having fun. You want educational? Go and see Peter Millard over 10-minute workshop. You won't be disappointed. But if you want entertainment intertwined with it, I'm not saying go and see Bourbon Moth. I'm not even saying go and see my good friend Marcus over at Burnstock Woodworking. Although, you won't regret either of those choices. I'm not even saying go and watch John Malecki. What I'm saying is, a similar level of entertainment you're going to go and find at Jason Grissom. Jason's done a load of really good videos, and his entertainment style starts with a smile. Okay, it's not always a smile. In fact, Jason's got an incredible sense of humour that I can relate with. Jason intertwines some really good self-deprecating humour through his videos and some entertainment to boot. He's actually a very happy guy. I've just picked a few clips that make it funnier to talk about. He's also one of two people that I'm recommending in these videos who does the best cutaways. You love The Office and other comedy shows just popping up for a couple of seconds at exactly the right time. Oh, well, don't watch when I try to do it because I'm not very good at it. Watch his, and Lee over at Busted Knuckle, if you're still watching this video at this stage, I do listen to your podcasts. Cutaways are okay when they're done right. And yes, the English office is better than the US office. Ow! But what Jason does really well is he is appealing, just like Dean before, to the every person that is in their workshop. Yeah, he's got some of the bigger tools, but he is also talking you through his journey, his mistakes that he's made and what he's done well. And he's building some stuff along the way. You want wacky? Well, why don't you see how to carve a pumpkin with all of your power tools? And handing your partner some of those as well so she can have a go. So when I saw a backdrop like this, only nicer, pop up on Jason's channel, I was really excited because I thought this is going to mean some new content. And he did not disappoint. He's gone down a route that is really fascinating to me, 3D printing. So if you love watching Travis over at Shop Nation, or Drew over at Whitworks, maybe Brad over at Fix This Build That, then you will love what Jason is going into and some of the recommendations in some of his latest videos. Especially if you love a French cleat like I might. 2 down, 3 to go. And this one is for people that love a tool recommendation. I'm not talking 731 Woodworks. I'm not talking Jason Bent. I'm certainly not talking about the amazing Stumpy Nubs, all of which do promotions in a really fascinating way. I'm talking about a channel that has actually, well, they've stitched me up a little bit because actually at the time of choosing them and cutting all the footage, they were a little bit smaller than they are now, and they've had some great videos come out soon. And so now they've got quite a lot of subscribers, like 12, 13,000, but they're still a great channel and they still need to be in this video. I'm talking about Brian Flynn over at Flynn Dog Woodworks. I'm talking about the man who might possibly be the hardest working guy in this woodworking space over the last year. He is producing and putting out 2 videos every single week. And as a guy who can't stick to a 2-week schedule between videos, I can really, really respect that. And not only is he doing that, but the one thing that I've mentioned in all of these videos so far is I love the fact that he's doing it with positivity. There is no way of watching one of Flynn Dog's videos without smiling, because he's smiling. He's enjoying what he's doing. From humble beginnings, sat on his couch recommending the Ryobi range, he's now progressed into not only a bigger workshop from what I can see, but also a brand new workshop. I'm thoroughly looking forward to seeing what he's going to do within that space, because what he's done so far is great. He scours the depths of Amazon to find you the tools that you may not have even heard of. I haven't. Brands that are new, brands that have just come out. We do align on a certain amount of videos. So I'm going to say the people that watch my channel, I am guaranteeing that you're the same people that will enjoy his. Beginner Woodworkers, he goes through some of the cheaper brands as well and tools that will help out for your journey. The one thing that confuses me a little bit with what Brian's done is that he can afford at this stage, even in a small to medium sized channel, to bring someone else in to co-host with him. It's amazing. I've got no idea how he funds it. What's that? It's the same guy. It's not the same guy. That's the same guy. No, but he's got a moustache. You can't just grow a moustache and then not... It's not the same guy. It's Bert. It's a fake moustache. It's Bert. Bert is a different guy. He's paid for someone else to go in this video with him. I'm almost sure. You can't just fake that. You can. No, you can't. There's a fake moustache. Same guy. Can you? It's the same guy. But he has back and forth with him. And they're both... It's the same guy. Check out Flynn Dog. Right, we're travelling back from the US over to the UK for this one, and I have to say, you guys recommended this guy to me. I didn't even know Pete had a channel, and that is what this video is all about. Finding people that you know you're gonna love, but who you might not ever find in the depths of YouTube. And Pete over at Northern Works is a gem of a find. I'm not saying don't watch proper DIY. Paul Zanetti, Jimmy DeResta, Colin Furs. What I'm saying is give Pete a chance to get on your homepage. Because what he does is a lot with a little. And if anybody watched me in the old shed before this, that was one of the things that Lee over at Busted Knuckles pointed out, is that you can do a lot with a little. To the extent that when I started watching Pete, he was building a workshop in the side passage next to his house. He made a workbench which was talked through in perfect detail. He then talked through everything that he wanted to achieve within that space that he was putting together, and he uses some beautiful OSB to make a tool cart. So if you want to do things on a budget, or if you want to get yourself started, set yourself up from scratch, this is a channel that's going to be really helpful. He's so far produced over 30 videos, and you only have to watch one or two of them to realise that he has one of the best narrative styles within this business. From start to finish of his video, it's well thought out, well presented, and very naturally put across on the camera. He's even got a psychiatrist that lives in his lounge. It's going to keep you really well leveled to do your work, really calming. And something I really love is when you watch a channel, if they've got an animal there that's helping them out, well, not so much helping, but keeping them company, that's a +1 in my book any day. Anybody who's made it this far, stick around till the end because I've got 2 bonus channels, and I'm also going to tell you who my favourite woodworker out of all of these channels is right now. And it does change quite a lot, but just for now. Okay, the next one we're going to stay here in the UK, and actually I've had quite a lot of chat with this guy, and I've got to say Jack is one of the nicest people I've met within the maker space. I am a massive fan of what he's doing over on his channel. He is working so hard to get it up and running, and on the face value you might look at 13,000 odd subscribers and go, that guy's doing really well. And on one hand he is, but I bet you don't realise that until maybe a few weeks ago, Jack had not earned a penny from what he's done. Because Jack's subscribers came from 2 very successful shorts that he produced, which were brilliant, and everybody clicked subscribe, which is what you want them to do, but you then struggle to make up the watch time because shorts are, well, short. I put him in because he's got a video series that I am fascinated to see how he gets on with. And it is one that I wish I'd thought of it, if I'm totally honest. He is doing a video series of 1 penny to £1,000 using nothing but his skill and his love of vests. Well, more his skill though, really. Joking aside, this is a seriously good idea within the woodworking space to make something that is so attainable and fun. I'm not going to put any spoilers in this, but he's doing really well. I can't wait for the next in the series because I just want to see if Jack gets to that £1,000. And if he does, what's he going to spend it on? Go see Jack because he's brave. He's putting himself out there and he's trying something that I haven't seen within this space through woodworking. And he's doing it in a vest. But you have to respect a man that gets his guns out to get the job done. But what's he going to do in winter? Clever. A winter vest. I like what you did there, Jack. Very nice. And he even included an animal. So as we draw this video to an end, you know that I love promoting you guys, the guys that watch my videos who have your own channels. We've done it with Northern Woodhouse before. You'll have noticed that in the X-Tool video. I want to give an honorary mention to another one of you guys out there who has set up a channel and is starting to make their way into this amazing makerspace on YouTube. Grey Otter Studios. You want to get in on the ground floor of a channel I guarantee is going to be successful in the future. Now is the best time. He may not have met the criteria for number of videos that I was looking for a fully recommended channel, but he's going to get there. And if the 3 videos he's done so far are anything to go by, the ones that follow are going to be amazing and well worth watching. So get in on the ground floor, support one of my supporters. My mind might have been slightly skewed by the fact that he sent me this amazing gift, which he made in one of his videos by hand. And I promised him it's never going to hit the end of a chisel because, well, it's too nice for that. Next time you go on your YouTube homepage and you see those 8 videos that are recommended to you first, videos from the amazing makers over at Padula Studios, or Jesper Makes, or Dana Made, or Pask Makes, all of the amazing channels that I love and still watch, give a little thought to the smaller channels. I'm not saying don't watch these bigger channels. They deserve all of the subscribers and the viewers that they've got already and more. They provide amazing content. But what I am saying is there's room for a couple more in your schedule. And I promised my favourite at the end. Now this guy doesn't even know I exist, never reached out to him. He is just a positive force within the maker space. He works with a mixture of hand tools and power tools. He is a wordsmith and he just deserves the growth that he's got. If you get a chance to click on Ian Curtis, Eric Curtis over there will give you a really good set of videos to work your way through and a big dose of positivity to go with it. Again, I'm not saying don't watch Eric Spenkley. I'm not saying don't go and watch Montreal DIY. They are all amazing channels. How many are you subscribed to? How many of their videos do you watch? Post it in the comments. If I ever do another one, I'll stick it up there. If I don't, and you've never watched one of my videos, that's one of the best. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you over there.